Once upon a time, in a peaceful little village near a vast forest, lived two best friends named Emma and Grace. They did everything together. Played games, picked flowers, helped their families, and shared their dreams. Everyone in the village admired their strong friendship. One sunny morning, Emma and Grace decided to go for a picnic in the forest. They packed their favorite sandwiches, apples, and a blanket. Before they left, Emma's mother said, "Be careful, girls. Stay on the path and watch out for wild animals." "We will, Mama," Emma called back as they skipped away. The forest was bright and full of birdsong. The girls laughed and chased butterflies. After walking for some time, they found a nice shady spot under a tall oak tree to lay their blanket and eat their food. Just as they were finishing their picnic, they heard a loud rustling in the bushes. The ground trembled slightly. The girls looked up and saw something huge coming through the trees. It was a bear. The bear was big, with thick brown fur and sharp claws, and it looked very hungry. Emma and Grace froze in fear. Then suddenly Grace ran and climbed up the nearest tree as fast as she could. She didn't even think about Emma. Emma, on the other hand, couldn't climb. She looked around, panicked, and then she remembered something her grandfather once told her. "If you ever meet a bear, lie very still and pretend to be dead. Bears usually don't attack something that isn't moving." Quickly, Emma dropped to the ground, closed her eyes, and held her breath. The bear walked over to Emma. It sniffed her from head to toe. It even put its nose near her ear and seemed to whisper something. Then, after a moment, the bear slowly walked away and disappeared into the trees. When the bear was gone, Grace climbed down from the tree and ran to Emma. "Emma, that was so close. I saw the bear sniffing you. I was so scared," Grace said, trying to hide her guilt. Emma sat up slowly, brushed the dirt off her clothes, and looked at Grace. "The bear whispered something in my ear," she said quietly. Grace laughed nervously. "Really? What did it say?" Emma looked at her friend seriously and said, "The bear told me never to trust a friend who leaves you behind when you're in danger." Grace's smile faded. She knew Emma was right. She had thought only about herself and didn't even try to help her best friend. Grace felt ashamed. "I'm so sorry, Emma," she said. "I was scared and didn't think. I should never have left you. Please forgive me." Emma saw the regret in her friend's eyes. "I forgive you," she said. "But I hope you'll remember this day and become a better friend." From that day on, Grace changed. She became more thoughtful, braver, and always stood by Emma's side, no matter what. And the two girls remained best friends, stronger than ever before. Weeks passed since Emma and Grace's scary encounter with the bear, and life in the village returned to normal. But the memory of that day stayed with them, especially Grace. She worked hard to prove she was a better, more loyal friend. Emma noticed and appreciated it. One day, as they were playing near the edge of the forest, they heard a soft growl behind a tree. Both girls stopped in their tracks. Slowly they turned, and there stood the same bear. This time, though, the bear looked different. It wasn't growling or showing its teeth. In fact, it looked sad. Emma and Grace wanted to run, but something about the bear's eyes made them stop. The bear spoke in a deep, gentle voice. "Don't be afraid. I remember you too. You are the girls from the picnic. I did not mean to scare you that day. I was only searching for food for my cub, who is very sick." Emma and Grace blinked in surprise. The bear could talk? "I thought bears couldn't speak," Grace whispered. "Most can't," the bear chuckled. "But I am no ordinary bear. I am the guardian of the forest, and I only speak to those with kind and brave hearts." Emma stepped forward carefully. "You said your cub is sick? Is there anything we can do to help?" The bear's eyes brightened. "Yes. There is a rare herb that grows on the other side of the river. I am too big to cross the narrow bridge, but maybe too smart, kind girls like you can help." Without hesitation, Emma and Grace agreed. The next morning they packed food, water, and bandages, and followed the directions the bear gave them. The forest was thicker and darker on this path. They had to cross streams, climb rocky hills, and even help a trapped bird on the way. At last they reached the river. The bridge was old and made of wood, creaking with every step. Grace looked nervous, but she held Emma's hand tightly. "We're in this together," she said with a smile. Across the bridge they searched until they found the herb. Its purple flowers glowing under the sunlight. They carefully gathered it and made their way back. When they returned, the bear was waiting. They gave him the herb, and he bowed his great head. You have done something many adults would not. You showed courage, kindness, and loyalty. He turned and led them to his den, where a tiny bear cub lay weak and shivering. Emma gently crushed the herb and fed it to the cub with water. Within minutes, the cub's breathing slowed, and it opened its eyes. The bear smiled. You saved my child. As a reward, the bear gave each girl a special gift, a small golden leaf. If you ever find yourselves in danger, rub this leaf and call for me. I will come to help. Emma and Grace thanked him with all their hearts. Moral of the story: true friendship is not just about sharing fun times. It's about facing fears together, helping others, and never turning away when someone is in need.